justice, you need to have someone whose credibility is still intact. Because there are a lot of people out there trying to tell the story, but they've been so marginalized because, if you've been locked up for 2 years and on those meds and everything else, you come out and they kind of say, well, how can that person have any credibility because they've done this and that? And that's kind of the danger for me. I mean, luckily, I only spent, the first time I was only in jail when I got arrested in my mom's apartment, which was like around 5:30 in the afternoon, so I was let out at 11:30 that night. But the second time when I was taken to jail after they arrested me in Freeport, I was there for 24 hours, and it was brutal. I mean, I went through, they woke me up at midnight, and they'd throw me in this cinder block cell with no furniture. And then someone taps on my door and they said, you need to see the nurse. And I'm thinking, well, that sounds promising. Well, the nurse is taking my blood, doing a blood test and everything else. She said, and then we need to do a pregnancy test. And I looked at her and I said, first of all, I've had a partial hysterectomy. Second of all, there is no way I can be pregnant. Oh, yes, but this is standard procedure. And I looked at her and I said, that's elder abuse.
That is I was about to say that's obscene.
And so
obscene abuse.
They backed off on that one. But then they put me back in this cell. And then at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm kind of sitting there. No, then they put me in another one, which had the stainless steel toilet and a hard bed. And I'm just going. And then at 4 o'clock in the morning, a gal comes in and she says, well, we need to sort of get into the prison uniform and everything else. At least I still have my clothes there. And, they wanted to put me back in, a cell in the back. And I looked at her and I said, no. But I had to agree to sort of, hand in my clothes, and they put me in the orange jumpsuit. And then, I was told I would be able to go to court in the morning to sort of, see if they would revoke my bail.
Did you go to court in the morning with the same jumpsuit on?
Shackled.
That's all part of the game. It's the dunce cap.
I was shackled with...
Listen, if you remember, the Messiah was also treated this way. They put a purple robe on him and mocked him, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews." And then they blindfolded him and struck him and said, "Who struck thee, thou prophet? Tell us."
Yep.
And they struck him on the face. So we're just entering into the sufferings of Christ. And truthfully, that's what it is.
Well, you are right. And speaking of that, because our French friend that I told you I saw, very Catholic. And one of the things that was said to me when I was at Spring Harbor by one of the guards or whatever, when we were talking about something, and I remember sitting there saying to him, who's your favorite person in history? And he said to me, Barabbas, which I thought was interesting. And I'm kind of thinking, like, who the hell is Barabbas?
This was one of the prison guards?
No, the hospital people. There was an interesting bunch of people there. You and me, I just sit there and chatter whenever and kind of listen to what they
Okay, sorry, I drifted myself.
This young kid sort of says, and I'm thinking like I know, but I don't really know, and I don't have access to Google at this point. So when I get out, and actually, for some reason, our French friend shows up. Well, I did a little trip to Vermont, and she was there. And I remember having a conversation afterwards, because, and her story was one of her nephews had been on medications, and everybody else is trying to tell me the value of medications, and I'm looking at Anik, and I'm saying, no, this isn't me, and what's going on? But I said, it's interesting, Anik, who was Barabbas? So she reminded me who Barabbas was. But later on, when I saw her the next time, I just don't remember how it came up, but she said, Kathy, you asked me who Barabbas was. All of a sudden saying to me, why would I'm crazy? Why would I do that? And all I was doing was I thought, well, you're the Catholic here. You probably know more about it. And so I thought that was such an odd thing, and we're having a conversation. So why not ask you who Barabbas is? But then it got twisted, and later on, it was sort of some testimony.
Oh, you mean that was used as part of what was against you?
Yeah, well, it
Used
was
as
for
material.
her sort of saying, well, I was so strange. Why would you ask me who Barabbas is?
But that was used as material for the grist for the mill?
I can't remember. Those records are sort of, those affidavits.
But are you suspecting that was possibly used, the banter that was misused even while you were talking to some of these other inmates?
Well, or it was, no, not the inmates. I think it was something that was brought up with the conspirators, or, I can just see, God, this is what Kathy, talked about. I mean,
No,
anyway, I just
how would they
thought it was
how would they have known what about your conversation? What, you mean they were eavesdropping?
Oh, I'm sure Anik shared it with,
Oh, you're guessing, you're extrapolating,
Yes.
or you're
Because
speculating.
again, it was one of many strange experiences.
Of course.
Post this hospital. But why would this young man, when you ask a question like, who's your favorite person?
Then why-
I can't remember what we were discussing, and he sits there and he goes, I don't know, I think it was Barabbas.
So how did he qualify that?
Well,
Why?
I just kind of said, well, that's it, because I don't remember the conversation going any further.
Oh, so you never had a chance to ask him why Barabbas?
Yeah.
Well, I can't possibly help you on that one, but I do
But
know.
he was the one that the guy that they said let Barabbas live, right?
Correct.
And
Every
so-
year they
right,
had a person who was appointed to be set free
Right.
based on some tradition. And so Pilate says, well, who shall I release unto you? Jesus, who is called the King of the Jews, or Barabbas?
Barabbas.
Barabbas, release unto us Barabbas.
So here we are at Spring Harbor, we're walking around the fountain, and this kid, I mean, he must have been in his 20s. Again, I hope someday I can relive some of the things that happened in Spring Harbor, because it was like one flew over the cuckoo's nest. And when you suddenly thought, it's the patients who are the sane ones, and it's all the rest of you guys who are crazy.
I remember seeing that film. Of the few films I've seen in life, it was a very good one. I saw it when I was quite young,
Yeah.
however, so it would be good to see it again. But that is exactly what we're talking about all along here.
Yeah.
My father being told by the president of Harvard, do not trust the experts. It's the dialectic, the Hegelian dialectic of one extreme or the other, and the implosion that happens when we're polarized by these different views. Where we're given multiple choice, but not enough choice to go deep enough. I mean, that's what our conversation's about, are these experts protecting power, or are they protecting the rights of citizens? And of course, these institutions are there to preserve themselves. And that's what happens. So what do? We have to create a different forum. We have to enter into the different forum and follow the patterns that exist that work. Family intervention on television is a good example. They get together and all the family members sit down and talk with the troubled person and say, we love you, but we just cannot support this behavior. And we would like to see change, but if you can't, we can't have you doing this. You have to leave. And they're all with tears in their eyes, each letting him or her know, we don't want to do this, but we all want to let you know that we love you and that we desire change. That's a beautiful model, and then there are other beautiful models out there, as you know, better than I do, on a lot of these things. But there are also some models that have to be begun, initiated. I think that this family advocacy term that you used, I thought it was fascinating, because I myself have been writing on family advocacy. I have been writing in my emails, and it's the most ungainsayable statement you can ever make is, can it be possible for healing in the family if a person in the family is marginalized? And the answer is no. Healing, by its very proposition and by its definition, involves every person and the outreach to every person. It doesn't mean that they're going to heal, but the outreach has to be genuine. It has to be real, as in those effective interventions on TV. You ever see Intervention on TV? It's a program that was on maybe 10 years ago. They get together and they confront. But if it's done properly, it gives the person a chance to realize how much they're loved.
Oh, well, and I told you that.
And that they can change.
One of my Liza was struggling with anorexia. Did I tell you that story?
You did not.